Hey guys, this is a guide and tutorial on the assembly, maintenance and disassembly of the S400 Red Hare or Zebra foam dart blaster. It also features D2Maker's quick spring swap system and the low carry handle modifications. Before we get to these two awesome modifications, let's take the S400 apart, give it some tender loving care, and put it back together. If you wish to jump to a particular section or go straight to D2Maker's modifications, there are timestamps on the video timeline for you to do so. After my recent forest game, which had plenty of mud and some rain, I did some testing with my S400 and noticed that it was not working very well. Accuracy was not good, and standard deviation for FPS was high. The prime felt a little bit rough and sandy. I have also fired about 1000 darts through this blaster. Time for some maintenance. What you see here is the early prototypes of D2Maker's quick spring swap system and low rise rear carry handle modification, which I featured in an earlier video. Link at the top right corner. Here is a comparison between these modification parts and the original factory parts. The disassembly of the carry handles are similar. However, the quick spring swap system allows the user to change springs within 1 minute, which is way faster than taking out multiple screws with the original factory cover. The basic steps for dismantling the front portion are still similar, but instead of the default screws, you now have quick takedown pins. Taking out the BCAR first. Remove the pins, or in the case of the original factory parts, unscrew the silver and black screws on both sides. Next, I am taking out the carry handle first. If you are just swapping springs, there is no need to take out the carry handle. But you will need to take out the grub screw or the transfer bar by inserting an Allen key through the top of the carry handle. In my case, I have already replaced the grub screw with a thumb screw, as the grub screw seems to vibrate out easier, and it also caused the blaster malfunction during the earlier forest game. Holding down the priming handle while turning the thumb screw or grub screw. Alternatively, you can take out the grub screw or thumb screw before the silver and black screws at the sides while still holding down the priming handle. Slide the priming mechanism out. Take out the spring. Take out the threaded barrel. I have a wrap at the back of my butt plate, which will be removed. Unscrew the two screws at the buttstock to remove the butt pad. Take out the transfer bar and pusher. The next few steps are basically to unscrew all the screws at the sides to take out the mag well, pistol grip, selector switch and cheek rest in no particular order. However, it is very important that you remember which screws came out of which parts and arrange them properly for assembly later. There is this black screw at the lower portion which has to be removed too. Once you have removed all the screws, it is easier to pry the shell open from the back and then remove the plunger tube and rod. However, in this video, I took out the plunger tube first by flexing the shell, which is not the ideal way to do it. Please pry open the shell first before removing the plunger tube. Here's a look at the two silver metal bits holding the shell together at the back. This is the detent mechanism at the front of the shell. It holds the priming handle in place and prevents it from sliding backwards after priming. There is no need to remove it if it is clean. Using a kitchen towel to wipe off some dirt and grime in the shell. Also giving the plunger rod and tube a good wipe. The U-turn is friction fitted onto the plunger tube with an O-ring. Wiping it down too. Unscrewing this part here to take out the O-ring cap and also to wipe the insides of the U-turn. I am using super lube to lubricate everything, including O-rings and moving parts, because I am too lazy to bother with different types of lube with varying viscosity. Lubing the U-turn small O-ring and screwing the cap back. The U-turn is nice and clean. Apply some lube to this O-ring. Putting the U-turn back into the plunger tube. It goes onto the end without the notch. Applying some lube onto the plunger rod's O-rings. Some lube onto the O-ring on the pusher. Putting a bit of lube on the trigger mechanism. Putting the shell back together. Align the plunger tube's notch with the blaster shell and put it back into place. Adjust the U-turn slightly to make sure it is aligned properly with the shell. The plunger rod will slide around and peek out from time to time. No need to worry about it. By the way, the plunger rod can only be taken out by dismantling the entire blaster, as the notches on the inside of the shell that secures the plunger tube in place also blocks the plunger rod from coming out. One easy way to loop the plunger rod and tube without dismantling the entire blaster is to take out the spring first and then use a brush to reach in and spread the loop around. Make sure the black coloured nut at the bottom shell area is still in place before you close the shell, as it drops out quite easily. Now to put the shell back together. Make sure the fire selector is inserted properly. The pointy end should be pointing at the same direction for both sides. The rounded ends are for your thumb and finger. Black screw goes into the bottom grip area here. Pistol grip goes back on. Make sure the screw is inserted together with the washer. Mag well goes back on. Slide the transfer bar with pusher back in. Screw on the butt pad. Cheek rest goes back on. Next, the barrel. As you can see here, the barrel is quite dirty on the inside from having shot about 1000 darts. A dirty barrel will affect performance. You can clean the barrel by pushing a kitchen towel through it. I did a video earlier on how to clean your barrel. Link at the top right corner if you want to check that out. But for the purpose of this video, I will be swapping the dirty barrel with a brand new barrel instead. I am also swapping the old 2.0 spring with a brand new 2.0 spring. See how the old spring has shortened after about 1000 shots? This new spring should bring the blaster back to peak performance. The shell is assembled. Now for the priming block and catch housing with the palm rollers. Let's open this up. As you can see, the insides are very well protected from the elements and there is no visible dirt or dust. The original blue grease from the factory is still on the catch mechanism. Let's give them a good wipe down and check the condition. I do not see any visible wear and tear. Everything seems to be in good condition. The only tiny bit of wear and tear I see is on this end of the plunger rod over here. Do note that this is the result of about 1000 shots. The blaster still primes and catches fine, and I'm not worried about any longevity issues. Putting some lube on the mechanism. Putting this housing back together. Make sure the black nut for the transfer bar screw is still seated on top. And this black piece over here is put back at the front before you close up this housing. Wiping the dirt off the 4 rollers and putting some lube on them. Now comes the fun part. D2Maker's latest release version of his 3D printed quick spring swap system and the low-rise rail carry handle. Thank you very much to D2 for providing these new modification parts for review. I like that he has added a Picatinny rail on top of this handguard here. More real estate for more attachments. Here's a comparison between the new one and the old prototype. And here is the longer version of the handguard, also with a longer Picatinny rail on top. The longer version seems to look nicer, but personally I prefer the shorter handguard as it allows me to access the barrel and BCAR easier. D2 has also improved the aesthetics and takedown process by connecting the two ringless takedown pins together. These two pins now fit nicely without any slack, and they look better too. Now for the comparison between the new version and the prototype version of the low-rise rail carry handle. The new one is longer at the front, which means more rail estate. The top rail in white is slightly higher, but it's also detachable. There is also a space over here to allow easy access to the thumb screw. If you are using the factory grub screw, it can still be accessed via this hole on top. The carry handle also comes with a separate 1.5 degree inclined rail for your red dot sights, so you do not have to use a separate inclined riser. I really like how D2 pays attention to such details when designing these modification parts. Putting on the low-rise rail carry handle. Next, the quick spring swap system. With the spring inside the tube and the priming block properly aligned, place the blaster on the stable surface and prime the blaster by pushing the priming block down. Align the transfer bar properly and put in the thumb screw or grub screw. Putting the quick spring swap system on. Previously for the prototype version, I did not use these two black screws. But I am putting them in now to cover up the two screw ports and also to show you that you can use them if you want to. I heard that the new S400 shells from ZWQ will no longer have these two screw ports, but the quick spring swap system will still work without them, depending on which version you 3D print. However, please download the correct files as there are two versions, one for the older shell with the side screw ports and one for the newer shells without these screw ports. Next, put in the two pins. Looking good. Pull the priming handle back and forward and fire off. Air seal is good. FPS with 1.2 gram blue darts is now back to peak levels. So this is how my S400 looks like with D2Maker's modification parts. Something does not seem right. Let's see what we can do about the white color parts. By the way, D2 has put in heat set inserts over here for the back top rail. A very nice touch. Yes, I am too lazy to spray the bottom, but the top and sides are now black and they look better overall for my blaster's color scheme. But the good thing is, you can customize and choose different colors for the rails and other parts to suit your blaster's colors. And here is how it looks like. I really like the increased rail estate at the front, which allows for more space to mount and adjust the positions of my Runcam Scope Cam 2 and LPVO. But it seems that the Scope Cam 2 is still a little bit high. I am going to substitute the current high rail at the handguard with my own lower one, so the Scope Cam can sit lower. There you go, the true final form of my S400 Red Hare. Looks better this way too. Thank you very much to D2Maker for sending me these awesome upgrade parts for the S400. Links to his quick spring swap system and his low-rise rail carry handle will be in the video description when ready. Hope you found this assembly and maintenance guide to the S400 helpful. Meanwhile, do check out these other videos here. Thank you and see you.